Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Today, we are reviewing the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice Palette. I know this is a little bit older of a palette, but luckily we just got it in Boxycharm of March 2020. So, I asked you guys if you wanted a review of the palette by itself, and you said you did. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be doing full swatches of every shade from the palette and an eye look to get our initial first impressions of the palette. So if you want to see all the swatches from every shade in this palette and see how it performs and what it's like on the eyes, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. So here we have the unit carton itself that it comes in. And then on the back, it shows all of the shades that are in the palette, exactly how they're laid out, and the names of the shades. Then if we open her over here, we have the palette. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Then on the back again, it also has the shades of the palette in the palette. And if we open it, we do have a plastic protective sheet and the palette. This is just so beautiful. It is a very neutral toned palette. It's very calm. There's a couple of pops of color, but really nothing crazy. It is something that I would expect to see from Fenty Beauty, because Fenty Beauty really seems like they're all about creating products that everyone can use, both dark and light skin. So they're very focused on inclusivity, which I really like. Oh man, look at that mirror. That is big and beautiful and fantastic. There you are. You're so cute. Okay, now I gotta say, this feels really comfortable. Like the bottom of the palette feels lighter than the top of the palette, which kind of makes sense because there's a mirror in the top, but it just goes to show that the mirror feels very quality. Now before I jump into swatches, I want to let you guys know the information about the Moroccan Spice Palette on Sephora's website. Now I didn't get it from Sephora, obviously, as I said. I got it out of Boxycharm Premium, which is $35 a month. I'll go ahead and link that unboxing right up here so you guys can check it out if you want to. That's where I actually opened the box that this palette came in. So essentially I paid $35 for the palette, kind of, but I also got like 4 other things, so I technically didn't. Anyway, this palette is on sale right now on Sephora's website for $29. It normally goes for $59. That's the standard price. And the description says what it is. A palette of 16 long-wearing Moroccan-inspired shades, ranging from matte to shimmer finishes, perfect for spicing up your look in limitless ways. It says what it does. It's no mirage. The Moroccan Spice eyeshadow palette combines everything you need to take you from hot, steamy days to sultry, smoky nights, with its rainbow of 16 richly pigmented shades and finishes designed for all skin tones. Yes. From smoky bolds to spicy brights and savory neutrals, Moroccan Spice serves up a dash of matte, satin, pearl, metallic, and shimmer finishes to satisfy every craving. Savor the feels and flavors of Morocco with Fenty Beauty's brand new long-wear eyeshadow formulas, each rich, velvety smooth shade in weightless, buildable, and stays put without creasing for the sultriest looks that last. Okay, it is also cruelty-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free, and phthalate-free. Well, that's awesome. It's 4.2 out of 5 stars and 81% would recommend. Let's see what a couple of the 1-star surveys say, just so we can know. Okay, there's a 1-star here, says save your money. It says, honestly, I feel like I could have gotten a better palette for cheaper. When my palette arrived, it was a mess. None of the shadows were broken, but there was fallout everywhere. For me personally, it's too powdery and the glitter shades are too patchy. Obviously, you can use a damp brush to help, but it takes a lot of packing on to get it to the way I prefer. Some of the colors are nice, but it's just not worth it to me. Okay? Another one says, it's not a great palette. In the pan, colors are so nice, but after you swatch or put on the eyes, it is so washed out. Not good at all. For the cost, you expect more. Okay, well they were not happy. Now let's look at some of the highest rating. A 5 stars is one of the best palettes I have. The colors are amazing, pigmented, easy to blend, definitely worth the price. Mirror that you get is also very good and large. I have to agree with that one. Another 5 star, this palette is everything. So happy to have it in my collection. Okay, so it's everything. Okay, well that is enough for me when it comes to reviews. I'm ready to see what this palette is all about. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in and we're gonna get started on swatching. Okay, the first shade is Mo. Rockin' Ice. It's like Moroccan ice, but the M-O is separated from the rest of the words. So it's like Mo, Rockin' Ice. Then the shade Mirage. Next is Casablanca. This looks a lot like Trophy Wife. Then the shade Marrakush. The shade Shisha Smoke. The shade Sahara Stunner. Quicksand. Desert Baked. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's beautiful. Evil Genie. Fez Up. Saffron. Come and Get It. Sock It To Me. Nuts and Dates. Henna Seed. And Spice Trip. Okay, and that's every shade from the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice Palette. And as always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here. And one without flash here. And here's our close-up of our swatches as per usual. These shades are gorgeous. I love this little combo right here. Okay, swatches were very pretty. Now, swatches have nothing to do with the performance of the actual eyeshadows and the actual eyeshadow palette whenever it comes to performing on the eyes, but some of those shadows felt really, really dry, and I noticed whenever I was swatching them, as I pulled the shades down, they got really splotchy, and that's odd. Which they weren't on top of any kind of eyeshadow base or anything, it's just a different kind of formula. You know, I haven't, or not that I can remember anyway, I haven't experienced this formula ever. It's definitely unique. It is its own. So it'll be interesting to play with it and figure out kind of just how it performs. Let's go ahead and get started on an eye look. Now, I've already primed my eyes using my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base and my Sigma Large Concealer F65 brush. This is an amazing brush for an eye base. Just like the Dalton Prepping Perfector brush, although they definitely get different end results. More precision with this one, more of a fluffy airbrushed look with the Dalton brush. Anyway, I digress. I think I'm going to take this Morphe M200 big, giant, tapered, pointy, fluffy blending brush and start with the shade Saffron, and I'm going to fill that up into the crease and kind of blow it out a little bit and make that kind of my primary color. I was really tempted to go in with the Shisha Smoke shade, which is like a really gray shade, but I thought a gray look is no fun right now. I've been stuck in the house for almost a month and I'm ready to see some color. I want more color. I've been doing neutral the last couple of videos and the last couple of looks I did, so let's at least go as colorful as we can, you know, why not? This palette isn't screaming color, obviously, but we can go there a little bit. It's weird, it almost looks a little bit darker on the eye. It looks like a, I don't know, like a strawberry red, but a little bit deeper, kind of. And here it almost looks like a burgundy, like a purple, kind of. Well, maybe not. On the monitor it looks like more like what it does in the pan. But in person it looks more of, well, kind of a purple. That's okay. We'll roll with it, see where we end up. I'm gonna pull it out a tad. Get that little wing shape going on. This is definitely one of those types of eyeshadow formulas, or at least with this shade anyway, that builds up. It's not automatically super, super potent and pigmented. You kind of need to add a few layers to get it as bright as you want, which I don't know, I kind of like in some instances because I don't always want to go for that bright, punchy, colorful vibe. Sometimes I do want it to build up to the level of color that I want because not everyone wants a bright, colorful look. They might want to start introducing themselves into color and want to get kind of the base of that color and blend it out and soften it instead of just having a color be bright and punchy. So I like that it's versatile in that sense so far. It gives more people the ability to work with it. Now using this BH Cosmetics brush from the Take Me Back to Brazil set, it's the number 8 brush. It's just really a fluffy blender brush. I'm going to go into the shade Quicksand, and I'm going to start putting this on the inner corner. It's a little bit satiny, I think. Not quite all the way matte, but not quite all the way shimmery, as a satin is. And I'm going to see if I can blow this out up here and maybe make it look kind of matte. I also want to take a second to let you guys know that I hope you're all doing okay during this really weird time for everyone. I'm not under a quarantine at the moment, or even a mandated lockdown. Right now in Arkansas, we are just practicing social distancing, and we are turning that curve downward. We are actually below our expected projections for infected amount. Apparently, Mark told me that we are below that today, so that's good. We are exceeding expectations for staying below a certain amount of infected. So that's really cool. It's just been a weird time. I mean, right now it is 10 o'clock. And I feel like it is my afternoon because I got up at around 3 o'clock. So my schedule is completely reversing because I have no need to get up early. There's no requirement to get up early except for my own self-mandated requirement, which doesn't really exist right now. I do have a few new products coming in so that I can film some reviews for you guys. And I do plan on getting up earlier for that so that I have a reason to get up. It's just a little delayed because UPS delivered my package to the wrong address the first time, and now they are sending it to me. But honestly, I'm just lucky that UPS is delivering, period. Thank you. If you work at UPS, FedEx, one of our essential occupations, for all of you food service workers and grocery store workers, I thank you. I praise you for all of your hard work. Seriously, I'd be nowhere without you because we have no groceries at home. We have to go out to eat every day. We're not like sitting somewhere and eating, but we do have to pick up food every day. So it's really appreciated because we would just be hungry without you guys, or we'd be eating protein shakes. That's what we'd be eating. But I appreciate everyone. And to those of you who are not working, I really hope that who you work for is taking care of you and making sure that you're still getting a paycheck, or at least some kind of income, whether it be a partial paycheck or at least still a promise of being employed. If you have been laid off or fired in the meantime, I am so sorry, and I hope that everything works out for you in the end. Know that my DMs are always open if you just need to talk. If you feel like you're in a tough spot and a rough place, I'm here to be here for you, just to talk. So just know that if you need it. But I gotta admit, filming for you guys and being able to just forget that I can't leave the house or that I don't need to be around people, and being around you guys makes me so much happier, and it helps me kind of just, well, like I said, forget, you know? I get to kind of take a break from nothing. Literally. Lately, I've been playing Disney Emoji Blitz, and it has been consuming me. It's kind of like Candy Crush, but you unlock Disney emojis that you can use when you're texting. And that's the main reason why I started playing it, is because I wanted the cute little Disney emojis. And now I've unlocked like, I don't know, 6 or 7 new Disney emojis that I get to send in text messages. And it's super cute and I love it. So as you can see, I went back in with the M200 and just softened the edge of saffron so that it would kind of blend up to the brow bone a little bit easier and better. I'm also going to take this giant fluffy Morphe blending brush and just kind of go over the shade Quicksand in this inner corner area and blow it out just a little bit so it's not got such a hard edge. This is going to kind of help me see if the shadow will even blend out on a smooth surface or if it's going to require more shadow to do so. Nope, it did a pretty good job. I can't tell where that shade begins or ends anymore. Yay, okay. I do want to add a little bit more of it in the inner corner though, because I feel like I lost a little bit of the pigmency it had, which makes sense. I mean, I blew it out. That's the point of blowing it out. You know, I'm really liking the shade Henna C. That's so funny. Henna C. Anyway, I'm really liking that shade. It's a really nice, dark, cool tone brown. So I'm going to use this Morphe M514 brush. It's a smaller blending brush. And I'm going to use Henna C. I'm going to start putting this into the crease and using it as kind of a deepening shade, hopefully. I'm curious to see how it's going to mix with Saffron, because Saffron is definitely more of a warm tone, and Henna C looks a little cool, but we'll find out. Ooh, it's making like a plum, kind of. I'm making a purple look again. I did not mean to. I even stayed away from the shade Fez Up, which is kind of purple, to avoid this. But I guess I just always go to purple. Look at me go. So good news. With what was happening with the swatches, how it started looking kind of patchy as I was smoothing them out, that is not happening with the eyeshadow on my eyes. And I was so scared that once I got to these deeper shades and started adding them in to add depth and dimension, that was going to happen. And it's not. It's looking really nice. I'm happy with it so far. I'm going to try and pull this almost all the way in. Not quite. Just a little bit. I'm just tickling my eye right here. Yeah. There we go. Now I think I'm going to use just my ring finger and go into the shade Mirage. And I'm just going to pack this all over the lid and see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be super intense or not intense at all. We're going to find out. Okay, it's kind of mid-level sheen. Doesn't seem quite as metallic, but it's definitely not a matte. It's a really pretty tone. Oh yeah, that's nice. Now I'm going to take this Royal & Langnickel fluffy, I don't know. It's like a fluffy blender brush, I guess, but it's more of a flat brush, like a shader brush. Yeah, it's like a shader brush. And I'm going to use that same shade and just go around the lid and see if this shade builds up the same. Oh, it has a nice pickup on the brush. I didn't expect it to pick up that well. Usually, shades like this don't. We're going to see if I can make a nice clean edge with it. Wow, that actually works really, really nice. Okay, yep, I like this shade a lot. Now, using this other flat shader type brush from Morphe, I'm going to use the shade Nuts and Dates. And this is a really deep purpley type shade, but it's a shimmer. So I'm going to use it right on this outer edge and pack it on top of Mirage. But I'm only going to use it on this outer third of the eye in kind of a V shape. Oh, so my outer V. Yes, that's right. See, I like this because it's going to help me add some more dimension and make my lid look a little bit bigger. But it's still going to be shimmery, so as I turn, you'll see the reflect from it. Quite a bit of fallout with this shade. This one is definitely crumbly. I'm actually going to pull that down my lash line all the way toward the inner corner. I'm going to use the M514 brush again that had the shade Henna C on it and go right around the edges of all the shimmer, so around my lid in my crease. And just make sure that that's blended out so I don't have any weird harsh overflow of the shimmer shades. I'm going to add just a little bit more of Henna C right on those outer edges too. There we go. And with the Morphe M222 pointy blender brush, I'm going to go into the shade Moroccan Ice. I just love that. And I'm going to keep it dry first. I'm going to put this right on the inner corner. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, cool. So that actually mixes with whatever is under it and becomes the same tone as it, but lightens it and gives it a little bit of glittery shimmer to it. So it's definitely a topper shade. I don't know that it would work the same by itself, but it definitely gives me some highlight. That is no doubt. Yeah, I really, really like that. But see, by itself, oh no, it does have a pink hue to it. Okay, I thought it was just white. It is not. It is also pink, but you literally can't see any of the pink in the pan. You can just see that it has yellow glitter reflect pieces. Huh, okay, that's fine. I like this very, very much. Now I don't like the fact that I pulled the shade Nuts and Dates across the lash line. I thought I would like it, but I don't. So I'm gonna try to cover it up again with Mirage. Okay, good. That worked. And I'm also going to take this tiny little shader brush and use the shade Mirage as my brow bone highlight as well. I think that's gonna finish it off very nicely. Man, that shade is so beautiful without having to use any kind of spray for the brush or any kind of wet, tacky base laid down. It's just perfect. Perfection. And see, I can see Mirage being one of those types of shades that if you don't have any idea what you want to do and you have no inspiration, you can just blend out like Henna C in the crease and pop Mirage on the lid and be done with it. Maybe throw out a black liner or smoke out a black liner on the lash line. Super simple, easy look. But see, I'm doing a review on the eyeshadow palette. So I don't want to do just a 1-2 bam kind of look. I want to test out as many shadows as possible so that we can know if it's good. And that's what this look is all about. And so far, I must say, it's really good. So far. But who knows? Maybe by the time I'm done, I will hate it. It's not looking like that so far. But you never know, you know? Okay, let me clean up my mess and see what this looks like with it being cleaned up. Wow. It is just amazing what cleaning up under your eye can do for a look. I think mainly it's adding that sharp edge. I think that's what does it for me. That makes me so satisfied and completely changes the way a look looks. I'm gonna go ahead and do my other eye and my face makeup off camera so that we can get ready to do the lower lash line. And once I finish all of that, I will be right back. So I'll see you in just a millisecond. We now have our face all completed, and I did go ahead throw on some lashes. I used the Makeup Geek 3D Faux Mink eyelashes in the style Nicole, and I love all of these 3D faux mink lashes. They are just, they are powerful. They are full of just glamour. I feel more powerful wearing them. I also threw on a liner in my waterline. I used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Whiskey, which is like a warm brown, kind of like the color of whiskey. And now we need some color on the lower lash line because my lower lash line is feeling a little lonely. So I'm thinking what I'd like to do first is use the Morphe X Jeffree Star JS13 brush. I think it's like a bullet blending brush. And I want to go into the shade Shisha Smoke or Shisha Smoke. I don't know, whatever that means. I've really been wanting to use this shade since I opened this palette, but I hadn't found a use for it until now. I actually don't even know if this is gonna look good, but we're gonna try it. It's very gray. That is literally the color of a pencil. It looks like graphite. That's kind of neat. It's good to know too, because I feel like that could come in handy for certain creative looks. Like if I wanted it to look like I wrote in pencil on my face, like a notebook. Yeah, that would be cool. And now that that's all filled in and I have the nice clean line there, I'm gonna go in with this Morphe M321. It's another pointed blending brush, but whenever I push it down on the skin, it kind of fans out a little bit more and becomes a bigger brush essentially. And I'm gonna go back into the shade Saffron so that I can tie my lower lash line into my upper crease. I don't want the look to look completely disconnected. I want it to kind of come together again. And that's what I'm gonna try and do with this brush. Okay, why do I actually kind of love that? Okay, that's really pretty. I would say though, let it be known that just about any shade in this palette that you mix with the shade Saffron is gonna make it turn into a purple. Pretty much. Maybe except the shade Come and Get It or Come and Get It. That's really the only shade that I could see that maybe wouldn't turn it into a purple because it's light enough. But if you try to deepen Saffron with any of the darker shades in here, it's gonna turn kind of purple because it's done it with Henna C, it's done it with Fez Up, and it's done it with Shisha Smoke. And that's kind of a bummer because it's not purple. It's not a purple shade, and not everybody wants purple. Or somebody does want purple, but they really need to not use purple because they always do use purple and they need to stay away from it. Fenty, this is really cool. I'm really liking this. Now I want to make sure that I don't lose the inner corner highlight that I did have, which I did lose. So I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe M321 brush and back into the shade Moroccan Ice and just pile on that inner corner highlight once again. We're gonna make sure she's not lost. Hello, Found you. I love this shade so much. Okay, that's it. So now I'm gonna throw some mascara on my lower lash line, and that'll be the finished look. This is the Smashbox Super Fanned Out Mascara. And with the mascara on the lower lash line applied, that is the final look using the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice Palette. So, what do you guys think? Do you love the look like I love the look? Because I love the look. I'll be honest, I was kind of unsure as to the quality of the shadows whenever I was swatching, because the swatching was really not the greatest. They didn't spread very far. Well, the matte shades didn't spread very far. They seemed kind of patchy whenever it came to the pull down of the actual swatch, but I was pleasantly surprised. Everything that I used worked together really well. Everything blended in well together. It spread out nicely. It built up nicely. I think it's actually a really great formula, and I'm excited to see more from Fenty. When it comes to eyeshadow, we have the Snap Shadow eyeshadow palettes, which I have done a review of those. I'll leave that linked right up here as well, so you can check out those reviews if you'd like. But I'm excited to see what big palette they come out with next, because we have the small ones now. We have had this big one for quite some time now. I don't remember exactly what the release date was. Probably a year ago, maybe, I'm guessing. Either way, I'm excited to see what the brand comes out with as they grow and what kind of unique stance they take on another eyeshadow palette, especially since they are so inclusive when it comes to their products. I'm excited to see what else they come out with to be diverse in the eyeshadow spectrum. But more importantly, I want to know what you guys think. Do you like the look that I came up with? Do you like the shades that are in the palette? Have you tried this palette? If you haven't, are you now going to try this palette, especially since it's only $29, because that's a pretty good price for a $60 palette. It's half off, obviously. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Also, if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, because it does let me know that you like it. And it also lets others know that you like it. Imagine that. They see a like, they're like, oh, Brenda liked it, why don't I watch it? Because I'll probably like it too. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.